Oh man. Does anybody know what a two-pop is? Is how you line this type of video up. So I've got blue, whatever the blue. I don't know what it's called, but it's the mic everybody uses, the USB, the blue Yeti, and that's picking me up. That's recording into my iMac, and then I'm also for these videos I'm just using the built-in webcam, and then I'm using this software called ScreenFlow. So with that, it's picking up what I'm doing here as far as my moves. It's picking up me. So it's picking up the screen. It's picking up me through the webcam. And then that's why you'll see like a little video of me or a big video wherever I put it. And then it also has the audio of me talking. But now this is all spitting out. And I've got it going out of the Avocet into a little Scarlett 2i2 into my laptop, and it's on GarageBand, and I've got it like perfectly balanced, and I've got like at full volume. It's coming just underneath broadcast, so I can turn it up or turn it, but I don't usually ever have to turn anything down. So that's how you do it. And what a two-pop is, that's the old-fashioned thing, like in the 30s and 20s. You used to see like and action, and there was a reason why. Now they call it a slate because it's like was slate because you'd write like scene 2 and something and then and action, and the reason was because the cameras, the motion picture cameras, didn't have sound, so they recorded the video, with the old school reels, and then the audio was through microphones and put onto some other kind of a device or something. I don't know what it was. But what they would do is they would get the video and they would do it scrubbing. They would scrub the video to like and then that would be the pop, right? Then they do the audio and they scrub it and then they line it up, so then it was like and action. It's called a two-pop. It's just they still call it that. And people still use it, and I use it. So what I do is I start this video, and now I've got all this video shooting here, but then I have the music over there. So what I do is I always go like this, and I raise up my hand, and I go, two-pop. Two-pop. And I always do it twice, just as like a little fail-safe. And then what I'll do is then when I get done with screen capture, this pops up and it's got the audio and the video and the two videos, right? Because it's got the screen capture video and it's got the video from me, and then I pull in this audio from GarageBand, and all I do is just 99% of the time I can just do it by eye. I just like, but it's not like lining up in Pro Tools where you can make everything perfectly accurate, because it's like 24 frames per second, right? We're not running super high. I think maybe I'm running 30 now, but even 30, it starts looking very video-y, because meaning there's 24 captures of video per second, which is actually the refresh rate of your eyeball. That's why movies look so great, and like, reality TV that's done at like 60 frames per second looks really weird, and it looks super fake. But that's because it's displaying a more accurate or like a more concentrated video image than what we actually look at when we're functioning, because we're basically, I think they call it a refresh rate, but your eyeball basically captures like 24 frames a second. So it looks natural. So there'll be blur when I move my arm, right? If you go into the higher frame rates, you'll see my arm like the whole time, like perfectly in focus. They use the really high ones for sports, so that when they slow it down, it stays in focus. I don't know, a little bit of information in case anybody wants to start making these types of videos. That's how I do it. There are ways of setting it up where the audio is all connected, but because when I started this, I was I was mixing, I was hybrid. Because I was hybrid, I couldn't, it just wouldn't work. I mean, I had, there's sound flour or something flour, and nothing worked. This was the only thing that worked. So anyway, there you go. So it is 5:20 on Friday. That freaking dang ecstasy hasn't shown up yet, but hopefully it's here today. It's been out for delivery since 9:24 this morning, but who's counting? So I may have to dip for a second if it shows up. But so this is kind of like my little ending video of what I'm doing here, because I've been messing around with plugins for little guitar stuff, right? So we know, and I'll just the little plate. I seem to like this. The Studio Rat, Paul from the Studio Rats. He likes that Lexicon 224. I don't know. I don't know. He had it really sounding nice. I don't know. I'm kind of a caveman with reverb, so this is perfect. But I'll continue to attempt on that. Repeater. I love this for delay. Yeah. And then the Eventide. The Eventide H3000 for like split harmonizer and stuff. These are the three more. So my other questions were like, I was looking like, are there good like software like modulation and stuff? And I own all of these, so there were a lot of suggestions. I tried a lot of stuff. I tried everything I own. The Brigade Chorus is just killer. I'll play through this in a second. That's just killer, man. That's like the most pedally feeling thing I've heard. Like, because it adds like, there's like a weight and a color to a chorus pedal. Like if you put a Boss, or like, you put, the Mobius is, the chorus is just like, a lot of the plug-in choruses just sound like chorus. They don't particularly feel like anything. They don't feel bad. They just don't feel like anything to me. This thing has some mojo. The other one is this Dimension Studio. It's like a Dimension D. I don't own the other one, but I actually like this one the best. Little more subtle, a little more like the H3000. And then I was thinking, somebody had suggested, I'm like, oh, that's right. I got Line 6 Helix Native at one point when I was doing whatever. Anyway, so what I did with this is I opened it up, and I just went across the top here, the first, in and out, right? So I put it on as a plug-in. It's down there, Helix. And I took out the amp and the cab. So it's just working like an effects run. And I was messing, the 70s chorus is really nice. So there's a lot of nice little things with this. The common theme with all of this is that these are things that I like to use, that I have used, and that are pretty easy for me to use. Some of this stuff is just too complicated, and because of my vision, it's just too weird. So I'm going to run you around a little bit for a second. Here's that same riff. Yeah, my American Standard. I'll just run the American. Here's the American Professional 2, Position 2. Yeah, and put a little ping pong and a little verb on. I had the ping pong up because you start having fun with this, and you're just like, like my buddy that helped me learn how to, help teach me how to mix. Ryan Williams, his phrase was "everything louder than everything else." That's a very kind of cheeky phrase that people use in LA. Everything louder than everything else. Yeah, and going back to this Dan Huff video, he was using like a little ping pong on his track, and I thought it really sounded nice. So, you know, it would depend on the density, it would depend on the track. And I'm doing this in time. So I'm just doing a quarter, I guess, on the left and eighth on the right. And, you know, I just was messing with it, and I was like, oh, okay, I like that. Right? So now H3000. So after messing with these other ones, realizing the H3000 sounds like, to now that I'm hearing the different, like, it sounds like a mix. It sounds like a rack unit mix, like a mix thing. It doesn't sound like a guitar pedal. It's not as, how do I say it? It's not as heavy and as intrusive, but it's everything. Like it's very cool. So here's with the H3000 in I think 231. Look at that micro. Very nice. Now this is the Brigade. This can get really intense. I think I've backed it off a little. Okay, so yeah, I brought the intensity down a little bit, and then I've been in dual mode. There's classic mode, so here's dual mode. And classic mode. Now keep your eye right here. I'm just going to toggle between them. I'll notify you. So we're starting in classic. Yeah, it's like the stereo image shifts. I don't know. I don't have an opinion on it. And this could be also better to put right on the track, not maybe as a bus. But you know, we'll do that really quick. Yeah. So here's now with it on the track. Well, okay. Let me go back here. Hold on. The track is just straight mono, so you could do mono to stereo, but we'll just stay with this. Okay, so anyway, there's that Brigade chorus. Very cool. Now this is the Studio D stereo chorus. It's UAD Studio D chorus. Little more like the H3000. It feels more like a studio thing. Now, on one of the videos, he was talking about using multiple choruses. So we're going to try something here real quick. Yep, not here yet. Crazy. So here is again Studio D or Studio D chorus. Why is there nothing coming to it? Oh, I know why. Because I pulled it off and pulled it back on. Let me establish it. There we go. And the H3000. Softer, you know. So let's try this. So now we're going to try this the studio and the brigade. Here we go. Yeah, you could experiment with, not doing them parallel, doing them in series. And you can do whatever you want. Life's too short to have people tell you what to do. All right, and now last but not least is the Helix. So this is just the Helix rack. So it almost works like my FM9 or like an Axe FX. I can put whatever I want on it. So right now I just put a little 70s chorus. Grimy, kind of nice. Darker or something. I could EQ. I'll just do this. I'll just try a little something. I've got delay and verb, but you can put anything on this. So this just gives me other options. It gives me other options. And there you go. So we're going to do one more thing here. And back to drum. All right, now what we're going to do is we're just live in the room. You're not going to hear this through. Well, maybe you'll just hear it because Okay, so now we're on the Matchless Bone Dry, but what I've got in this, this is all that there is as far as this kind of effects now for my live rig. So it's either I use this, or I use the plugins, or I use a combination of them. So here's like the delay that's in the loop. This is like just digital mono. Okay, little pitch. Very nice. And then I've got all of my loop stuff, choruses, flangers, delays, reverbs, yada yada hoo-hada. But what I have here is I have a second line that is patched right before my equalizer. So I'm going from the guitar into the input 1. You'll see it here in the FM9 out input 1, and that I have a little short cable. It goes right into the input of the graphic EQ, so then it just goes through the line. So if I'm here, right, so if I go like this, right, my pedals are working, but also this first line works as a line of effects before the amp. So here is a little like a mono Memory Man. Hear it? So if I want a little bit of thickening up, a little bit of slapback, this can work in front. Kind of like I would do with either with a Memory Man or with the analog, the Bucket Brigade one, and the timeline. Because I was thinking, well, maybe I'll keep the timeline, put it in front. Get it, man. This is fine. Now the other thing, notice here, wah. So this is set up to go off when I use the pedal. So now. So that's the whole deal. And now we're back to Bone Dry. I've been playing this guitar since I'm a little kid. Well, 16. I wouldn't say a little kid, but teeth marks from biting it, trying to learn. I think really the one was getting me was "I'll See the Light Tonight." That. I can't. I don't play like that anymore, but it's you know, be like Anyway, that's the entire rig. That's it. You know, and now my buddy got me turned on to Tonex, so, which that seems like it's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, I only floated through a few things, but this is the thing that I like, and that's actually what's on this main track. It's got a nice kind of lean thing to it. So anyway, that's it. We'll go here. We'll get a little bit of ping pong, a little bit of verb. Let's throw a little of that brigade on. So, that's awesome, man. And I've got so many plugins, man. I've got to check out some of them I have never really used. I think it's weird, like, I don't know if... Yeah, see, look. Oh my god, I do have all the Arturia. I wonder if these are just the keyboards. I don't know if I have the effects separate. Doesn't matter. I mean, I got more than enough. Look at all this stuff, man. Look at all this stuff. Good Lord. If I did it all over again, I probably wouldn't buy nearly as much of this software. I'd just be like, you know, I mean, what EQs do I use? FabFilter. You know what I mean? Like, it's simple, man. All right, there you go. Still no ecstasy. That's definitely the next video. Unless somehow this guy ends up on Venus and he drops it off at the wrong house.